What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can be more creative with their route running. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope it can teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know specific drills you should be doing to work on your route running, your press releases, to make you a more creative player, check out that very first link in the description below for our 2-month-long wide receiver on-field workout schedule. You get over 60 days on the dot of wide receiver workouts that you can do on the field to improve your route running, etc. We give you videos of each exercise and the exact sets and reps. So check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested, fellas. Let's get started. So this first route is going to be this quick, kind of flat route, 5-yard out route from Michael Thomas, and this is textbook on how to be creative. So we're going to be talking about how you guys can pair your routes and pair your releases together. So obviously this is a hell of a release. Obviously this is a big play, and he ends up scoring on this thing. Knee may have been down a little bit early, but still got separation. So how do we set something up like this? So this is going to be called a dive release. But there's a little bit more to it. That's the creative side of things. What a dive release is exactly how it sounds. You are just diving to the inside, literally running as hard as you can, almost attacking this DB's inside shoulder to try to get him to flip his hips to a drag or maybe like a one-step slant. Now, what makes guys dangerous with this dive release is being able to run with speed, being able to run in full stride and commit their upper body to it. But that creative element to this route is pairing it off of another release. So if you were going to be running a drag route, maybe like a one-step slant, you would probably give this DB something off the line, right? You probably wouldn't just take off and run. You could probably build off of maybe a drag that you've ran in the past. So that's what Michael Thomas does. He gives this jab inside, gives a little foot fire, and a jab outside. Something to get this DB to hold, something to sell even more so that he is going to be running the drag rather than just running the drag. That's what being a creative route runner is, fellas. You have to make things look the exact same. Because I'm telling you this right now, DBs are getting smarter and smarter every single year. DBs study more film. They watch these videos. The DBs will watch I get tons of guys that say, hey, I'm a DB, and it helps me learn the other side of the ball because they know what to look for in a wide receiver. But if we make things unpredictable, we do 2 separate routes that look the exact same at a certain point, that is very hard for them to adjust. So that's exactly what Michael Thomas does here, right? He gives this 1-2. He makes it look exactly like a drag. He's fully committed. You see his hips, shoulders, speed, everything about this looks like a drag. And this looks exactly like maybe a drag that you would run at another point in this game. And that is what's going to get that DB to bite. That's what gets him to commit because maybe he's seen it before, maybe you've done it before on him, and that is what can get a separation and work that throw by move and get us open. That is textbook right there on being a creative route runner by Michael Thomas. Make sure, fellas, that we are pairing our releases and pairing our routes together. Let's watch this thing again full speed. I'm sure you guys all saw that clip of Davante Adams talking about how he picks his press releases, where he says he puts on the Terminator mask and he's got 3 separate things, but then he reacts off of the DB. That's exactly what it is, fellas. Press releases is not about knowing 20 different releases. It's about being very damn good at about 5 to 6 of them and being able to make those 5 to 6 build off of each other. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Thomas working this move to set up that drag and winning on that dive release. All right, so now, second example here. This is another Michael Thomas route, and this is going to be how you guys can get separation on a dig using a fake throw-by move. So I'm sure some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not heard of this, and that's what we're going to be breaking down. So he takes an inside release against outside shade, which is good, and then he works this fake throw by to the blind spot. Okay, so let's talk about this. So if I have to run a dig route, right, and let's say DB's lined up a little bit shaded to the outside like so, right? You got the numbers right here. We're on the bottom of the numbers. Playing outside shade doesn't make a whole lot of sense right here. But it is what it is. Honestly, he could be in head-up press in some situations, and you take the inside release for this to work. But it all builds off of an out route. That's why they call it the fake throw-by. So if you guys were coming up to the line, and let's say you had to run a 10-yard out, but the DB was shaded to the outside. He did not want to let you go outside, did not want to give up the outside release. He maybe has help inside. He's trying to force you to his help. Okay, so what I would do is I would give him a move, and I'd take the inside release. My goal would be to sell vertical like he's doing, get the DB to flip his hips, and if he's playing it well, I would just slip underneath him. If he's not playing it well, maybe I got him off the release, I could restack. So that's what builds into this dig. Again, like I was saying, making all your routes look the same. You want to make this dig route look exactly like the out route that you've maybe ran before, that you guys have in your playbook, or that you guys can execute even when you're maybe not getting the ball. So we get him to flip his hips, and you see how he throws by, right? That's exactly how you would run an out in this situation. You would throw him by at the back of his shoulder, maybe the back of his hip, and then you would slip back underneath him. Now, where's he at? He's in something we call the blind spot. So when you get to the blind spot of the DB, that's a very dangerous spot to be in for him. That's dangerous for the DB because he has no idea where you're at. He has to speed turn. He maybe has to open up his hips in some cases to try to find you. And when you could operate in that blind spot and you commit that upper half to that blind spot, that's the fake throw by. You are faking like I'm throwing by underneath, getting that DB to open up his hips, and then we can win on that dig route. I personally only like this move on a dig route. And I'll tell you why. Because if you go here, like how would you set this up the opposite? Like let's say the DB was lined up inside shade and you had to run an out route. So if he was inside shade, you had to run an out route. You give him a move, take the outside release, you would fake the throw by to the dig and then run the out route. But the issue is that takes a little bit too long for an out route. Usually an out route is a timing route, right? Whether it's a sprint out, whether it's a rhythm 3-step drop from the QB. So we can't waste time on that type of break because the quarterback is expecting us to speed cut it and get out. I would just honestly just lean into the DB and get out of the break if we were doing this on an out route. I only like this on a dig, but that's the right mechanics. Sell like we're running the out, sell like we're doing a throw by out, get to that blind spot so we could create space. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. This is a great job by Michael Thomas taking the inside release, faking that throw by, and then operating in that blind spot to get separation. All right, so now next route we're going to be watching here is from Amari Cooper. So this is a textbook comeback route against zone coverage. So when it's zone, just like that fake throw by, a lot of guys love to operate where? Blind spot. They love to get to this DB's blind spot, try to threaten him in the blind spot, try to get him to open up so they can run their route. Whether that's an out route, whether that's a comeback, or whether that's even an inside breaking route like a post or a dig. Now, we talk a lot about leverage on this channel and how you guys should attack leverage, how you guys should go about leverage, what you guys should do against different leverage looks with your routes. And that's mainly what we focus on here, even when it's zone. So this is a great route because he doesn't force the blind spot right away. Because what leverage does the DB have? Outside or inside? He's outside. If he was inside, he'd be lined up over here. He is outside leverage. So what does that mean? He's trying to force you to the inside. He does not have any help to the outside. He's just trying to force you to his help, which is like a free safety over the middle. So if you had to run a route, like let's say it was like a post route, you would want to attack his leverage, right? You'd want to attack the blind spot because he would widen, and that creates a bigger window between the corner and the free safety. Now, let's say you have to run a route like a 10-yard out. Would you go straight to the blind spot? No, because the whole reason we attack blind spot when it's a post is so he keeps his leverage. So if you have to run an out route and you go straight to the blind spot and he keeps his leverage and you break off, you have no space to the sideline. He did his job. He kept his leverage, and then he kept that route right in front of him so he could jump it and pick it off. But the QB won't have any space to throw you open. So Cooper on this comeback route, what does he do? He attacks inside shoulder first before getting to the blind spot. So he has some space to accelerate out of the break. That is the key here, fellas, because if you were to just go straight there, he's just going to widen. That's his whole responsibility. But if you can sell vertical by running hard, running in full stride, keeping a good pad level, and attacking his inside shoulder, what do you think this DB is going to do? He's going to open up and run because he has to. At the end of the day, when it is zone, let's say this is cover 3, right? Let's say there's one free safety. He's got the deep middle third, and this corner's got this deep third. At the end of the day, he's taught not to get beat deep. So we can threaten him deep. We could threaten him with that deep fade, that deep post, whatever we want to make it look like, because that can get him to open up. And when he opens up and I could get to that blind spot while he's running fast, now we're closer together. He can't keep his leverage because I already got into his cushion. And then when I break off on this blind spot, because I didn't go straight there, I have some space to run to the sideline. You see how close the sideline is, fellas. You can't just run straight there. You have to take what he gives you. You have to take that inside, be able to threaten to the inside. And if you must get to the blind spot, let's get there at the last second. Now, could he have just ran the route? Yes, he didn't even need to really get to the blind spot. The way I teach my wide receivers is I would teach them to go hard at that inside shoulder until we get to my depth, which would be let's say here. I would say go hard at that inside shoulder here, force him to bail, and then we slip underneath on the comeback. But again, getting to the blind spot is not wrong. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There are different ways to run each route. But that is how you should go about it. That's the creative part about this, fellas. Maintaining that spacing so the QB can throw us open. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Cooper attacking inside shoulder before getting to the blind spot, giving himself space to run that comeback route. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you'd like a full 2-month-long wide receiver on-field workout schedule, everything wide receivers need to do on the field to improve their route running, press releases, catching ability, the works. Check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.